Hi everyone. So in today's video, we will try to understand how can we create the RDS infrastructure using the Terraform, correct? So what are all the resources which will be required to create the RDS instances that we will understand first, correct? So let me write down it here. So I'm creating one file notes.txt here, and there we will mention every component which will be required, correct? So what will be all the required? I'm just putting the hashtag so that it will be commented. So what will be required? So to launch the RDS, we will require the VPC, correct? We have to launch the RDS instance here. So to launch RDS, correct? To launch RDS, we will require the VPC, and this RDS should be deployed in some subnets. Like if you are selecting for AP South 1, correct? So this VPC is in your AP South 1 region, Mumbai region, correct? So this particular VPC will have some few of the subnets which will be used for launching the RDS for maximum availability, correct? So then there will be subnet blocks. So once you have created the subnet, there will be a group of the subnet, correct? So we will be creating one DB subnet group as well. So it will be called as DB subnet group. That will be our third resource, correct? Once you have created the DB subnet group, there will be requirement of route table where you will map the your subnets, and you will be mentioning either an internet gateway, or if you want to make it the private, you will be using that subnet or something, correct? So here we will be creating one route table. To make your subnets and the route table as a public, you will be required the IGW. That means you will be creating internet gateway, correct? So it is called as internet gateway that we will be creating here. So VPC, subnet, DB, route table, IGW, correct? Now you will be launching the RDS instance, correct? So this RDS will require some security groups as well. Which kind of traffic can come into this RDS? Which kind of traffic can go outside of that this RDS? So we will require security group as well, correct? So we will be required security group where the ingress rule will be defined, correct? Either we are making our database public or the private. So we will be mentioning the security group. Other than security group, to connect this database or to connect this database, we will require the password and other details. So we will be creating one resource for the secret manager. So in the secret manager, we will be having different components. Like the second resource will be secret manager version, correct? Where we will store all the sensitive and the user database related details, correct? So these are the few resources which we will be creating: VPC, subnet group, route table, IGW, secret manager, and the RDS. Finally, we will be creating that, correct? So let me show you the code itself, correct? So in the main.tf, what we are creating one AWS VPC resource with the alias myVPC, and this is the CID at 10.0.0/16. Then to enable, like when you will be doing your database public, correct? So for that you will have to enable this DNS hostname support and DNS hostname are equal to true, so that your VPC can accept the traffic from the outside. So for that you will have to enable this. Then only you can make your database public, correct? If you want to make your database private, you don't have to enable this, correct? So in this particular demo, I will be making my database public, and we will try to connect it from the one of the debugger tool, correct? So we are creating the VPC, then we are creating one public subnet, the second public subnet, and third public subnet. And out of all these three subnets, we are creating one DB subnet group, and that subnet group will have the name DB subnet group underscore the variable customer name, and the customer name is our demo, correct? So that's our customer name, the default one. If you want to pass any variable, you can do that, correct? Then we are creating one route table, public route table. Then we are creating AWS Internet Gateway, which will be attached with the route table. So here we are creating route table association, where we are mentioning in which route table ID we have to pass, and the subnet ID, correct? So it's the subnet ID association with the route table. So these three, we have created three subnets. So there is a three subnet association, subnet and route table association 1, 2, and 3. So here you can see public subnet 1, 2, 3. These are mentioned, correct? Now, once we are created with the VPC subnets route table internet gateway, now we are creating DB parameter group. So earlier in the video, I had explained the concept of the dynamic block. You can see So we have this all the learning concept, correct? So we are covering file creation, Terraform conditional resource creation, state file, data and output block, dynamic block in Terraform. So before I have covered this concept, dynamic block in the Terraform. So here we are utilizing the concept of the param, like we can set the different values for the parameters which are available in the DB parameters, correct? So we can set search path, some value or log retention. So there are multiple parameters you will see. So here we are setting two parameters as of now, search path equal to blue admin and log connection equal to 1. So that value we will be setting up, correct? Then there is a life cycle, create before destroy. Okay. And then few of the tags we are creating, name, customer name. So you can add multiple tags as per your own, correct? Then we are getting AWS security group, database security group, where we are mentioning ingress as a 00. That means every traffic is allowed. Because in this particular demo, I just want to make our database public. But for your production or for the real project, you will have to make it based on your requirement, that which kind of traffic you want to allow. So right now I'm doing the 00 and protocol is -1. That means every protocol is allowed. Then a few tags, and finally we are creating the DB instance, master DB, correct? So for the master DB, this is the allocated storage. These are the function contains. So if this is for the mapping, correct? So the default value for allocated storage is 20 GB that I have mentioned. Where is the variable? Allocated storage. Let me search. Control F. Allocated storage. Okay. So it is being mapped from here. Allocated storage. Correct. Let me see. Just let me remove this. Allocated storage. Okay. So based on that, it will pick up the value from the variable.db storage size config, or it will directly pick up it from the DB config, correct? So based on the storage size. So that value has been allocated 20 GB, correct? And then there's a DB name. For the DB name, there is a variable which is called as blue DB. So this is the DB name variable. So for all the attributes, we have created different variables like engine version, port, then instance class, which instance class will be picked up, correct? And in the similar way, there are other attributes of the DB instance as well, parameter group. So DB parameter group, what we have created earlier, PPC security group ID, so the security group, what we have created, then copy tags to snapshot, correct? So whatever the tags we are creating, and the snapshot will be, snapshot is basically the one of the functionality of the RDS. It keeps the backup of the database, like on a particular time interval, the database will create one snapshot. That means one backup replica of the DB data, correct? And that snapshot will have the all the tags which are present in the database tag as well. So publicly accessible. So right now I have made it as a true so that our database can be connected without any bastion or something, but you can create it as a private one as well for the real project. For now, it's true, correct? And the username we are selecting from here, variable.db username. What is in the vash.tf, you can check it for, correct? So db username, blue admin, db name suffix, port. So all these default value I have passed here, multi-db type, multi-ag. So based on that, vash.tf, it will pick up the value for all these attributes. Apply immediately, that is true. And there is one more thing, DB protection. So I have made deletion protection, correct? That I have made as a false. If you make it as a true, that means once in the DB is created, you will not be easily able to modify that, correct? You will have to make this delete protection disabled from the console, and then you can do any kind of modification. So these are the things what I have created. IAM database authentication enabled, true. For now, I will make it as a false. We don't want IAM enabled. We just want the database authentication with the password, correct? So IAM database authentication enabled equal to false. So that's the DB instance related attributes. Then we have this wait time, time sleep. If you want to uh, give a break in between, correct? So one resource is created and you want to let your Terraform wait for a few seconds before the second resource gets created, correct? So you can have this resource time sleep, and then you can pass the time duration for which you want to make your Terraform creation gets paused kind of thing, correct? Then how it is fetching the secret manager password, correct? So database will require the password as well. So here you can see the username, we are picking it from the variable, but the password is being picked up from the data block, data.aws secret manager random password. So this data block is here, data.aws secret manager random password, and exclude character. That means these characters will not be the part of the password. Exclude numbers false, exclude punctuations false. That means all these things can be included. It's exclude numbers, correct? That is false. So these things can be included, uppercase, lowercase, punctuation, numbers, but this will be excluded. These characters will be excluded from the password. Then there is a secret manager in which we will be storing the details, and here we are storing in the secret version, correct? In the username, password, engine, host, port, DB instance, identifier, DB name, and other things. So these are the attributes and these are the minimum required resources to create your database. So let's run this. I'm just doing the control. Just open the terminal and let's do the clear first. Clear Terraform init, and we will do the Terraform plan, correct? Let me do the Terraform plan, and it will show you all the resources which will be created. And once we are okay with the Terraform plan, we will do the Terraform apply. So as you can see, plan 16 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. So what are all the things being created? This is the sleep width, 30 seconds of sleep, correct? Then the VPC is being created, my VPC. Then your route table, let me expand it. Public subnet 3, then public subnet 2, public subnet 1, database security group, secret version, which will store all the details like database user, password, and DB host, and other things. Then there is a secret which will be created. Then there is a association of the subnets with the route tables. That association is happening here. Then there is a block for route table creation. Then there is a block for IGW creation. Then for the subnet group creation and DB parameter group creation. And then there is a block for your actual database creation, master DB, correct? So all the resources are fine to be created. So let's do the Terraform apply auto approve, correct? So let me do the Terraform apply auto approve. So it will create all the resources automatically, correct? We have added this auto approve. So now the things will be created. As you can see, creation has been started, and we will see that everything will be created just right now. So for now, you can see there is no database, but in some time you will see the resources that will be created. For now, it's been created. VPC has been created, correct? Subnet group has been created completion. Route table association has been created. Master DB is now being created. So let's check on the console where RDS was blank. It should be there. So it's being created, correct? If you say that, see the status creating. So it will run for a few seconds, few minutes actually. So this database creation will take time of the 5 to 7 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm just stopping the video, and once it will be available, I will just resume the video. Okay. So let me stop it in between. So back to the video, and now you can see that after 17 minutes, 5 seconds, the DB instance has been created, and all the resources has been created, correct? So let's go into the console itself, and there you will see everything has been created. So this demo of PGSQL is created, then there is a VPC created. So let's get into the secret manager first, and we will see the credentials, and we will so it has been created on 11th December 2024. So that's the time duration. Let's get into the DB create demo, and we will retrieve the details, secret value. So these are the secret value, and based on that, we will connect our database, correct? So let me get into the dbeaver here. I will just open dbeaver, and we will create the database connection for the PGSQL, and we'll see how it works, correct? So we have till now what we have done, we have created all the resources, and our database is a private, sorry, public one that we have created. So let me give a name to our database. Okay, this one just remove PostgreSQL. This is the platform to connect your databases, correct? So localhost, we will have to pass the host name here. So host, we do have this demo PGSQL, and the database name we do have this blue DB. So that's the DB name. So we'll be passing the DB name here. And then we have the username and the password. So my username is blue admin. So that's my username. And then the password is this one, 0STO. So let me pass it. Sorry, let me paste it. Connection detail I will be mentioning as what kind of database we can testing testing public DB, that I'm giving the name, correct? So let me click on the test connection. It has been connected, correct? So now you can see the database has been connected, and this is the testing public DB. If you want to run any SQL, you can run that. If you want to expand right now, you can expand that, and you can see there is a database with the name BlueDB, correct? And the schema, that is the public one. So that's the public schema. If you want to create any other database, you can create here. You can create any of the database, like create database. You can mention create database and then demo, correct? So that database we can create on this RDS instance. Create database demo that has been created, correct? So right now we have made the connection with the blue DB. But if you want to edit the connection, you can edit, and here in that database you can, rather than this blue DB, you can pass the demo and you can try to connect it. Test connection, database connection has been made, and now you can see that okay, do you want to save the changes? Yes. Testing public DB. Now just expand this demo, and now you can see the database name has been logged in with demo, correct? So this is how you can create your infrastructure for the RDS instance. You can create your database, and then you can make it public, and you can run the SQL script which is required, correct? So this is how you can do all these things. So, and these are the requests. Once you are done with your testing and everything, you can delete the infrastructure once again. So let me destroy the resources, Terraform destroy auto proof. Correct. And meanwhile, in the database here, you will see that there are options of snapshots and all the details. So in the demo PGSQL, you can see this is the endpoint. This is the BPC details. In the configuration, you can see there, this is the 4 GB RAM, 2 core CPU, KMS key. This is the default one, correct? The storage 20 GB, the DB name, all the details comes over here. And the snapshots, it keeps, it used to keep the backup of the database. So based on your timestamp, what you have mentioned, correct? So these are the things. Now, as we have run the Terraform destroy, it's being destroyed, correct? So in some time it will be destroyed. So every resources will be destroyed, correct? So this is how you can do this. So we will meet in the next video with another content. So till the time, thank you. Bye bye.